Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 152 of my Simple Let's Play. So I'm back at my liquid warehouse and I really like the way it's starting to take shape with this kind of uniform way and all those different colors. I really like the way it looks. And the previous episode I took care of seed oil. I really wanted to finish getting honey as well. Unfortunately that wasn't the case because I didn't have enough time, but today I'm going to take care of that. So similarly to my seed oil little project, which was also a part of an already existing crafting network, honey is the same thing, so it's need to be taken care of pretty much in the same way. However, although while seed oil is very easily produced, I mean I have a wheat farm, which essentially produces infinite amount of seeds and wheat, although it takes a little bit of a while. It does it infinitely, so does bees, however bees are definitely a lot slower. So this also be kind of an encouragement for me to start getting more into bees in the near future. But I'm going to set up the system in place to begin with anyway. So let's get started. So first, as I like doing always, I'm going to first set up a system that will intake all the honey. So I'm going to take one valve. And I'm going to take a couple of liquid tesseracts. I'm going to need two of them. And I'm also going to come up with the new liquid network. Now, honey is kind of this orangey kind of thing. However, orange is already taken by molten redstone. So I need to pick up a different color. I think brown will be the most close color and relatively fitting. So let's go for brown. So let's create two brown ender tanks. Get them. And I'm going to need some redstone torch and some liquid ducts. So got the liquid ducts. Let's first set up the actual tank. So break this and place a valve and place a liquid tesseract and create a new network. Seed oil was 9, so let's go for 10. Sorry, seed oil was 8, let's go for 9 and name it honey. And add that name, make it a receive only tesseract, and it's always on. And let's just do this, okay. And I can already set up the ender tag if I really want to, although it's gonna wait a little bit. Let's first set up the actual production line of honey. Okay, so honey, liquid honey that is created from a couple of ways actually. I think if I go to a squeezer, let's quickly find a squeezer and check out all the different recipes, like this. Where is it? Anyway, honey can be either created from... Oh, this is annoying. Okay, let's do this. Seeds, uses, squeezer, and recipes. Okay, there we go. We've got a couple of ways to make honey. First, from honey drops. Honey drops is definitely a way to do it. There is also what other way? I think honeydew is also a way to make honey. And I think that's pretty much it. Yep, I've got honey drops, I've got honeydew, and I think that's it. Don't think there are any other types of methods to make it. Short mead, nope. No, those are all turning capsules back into liquid. Alright, so I've got both honey and honeydew. Now both of them are not something that I really need. Like, I think honeydew doesn't have any other use other than turning it into honey. This is actually the funny part. Well, I can make glistering melon, which I never do. Can make ambrosia, which I have no idea what it's being used for. Can make blank templates, which I don't really make anymore. And I can make this, whatever that is. And I can turn it into honey. So, apparently I can also turn it into short mead. Anyway, I'm gonna make honeydew as my first priority, and honey is my second priority on purpose. So let's start setting it up. Now, this tank is at the moment on export mode, but I don't think it will push liquid into a squeezer. Let's just make sure and actually get a squeezer in here and check that. yeah, as I said, it shouldn't try to push anything into a squeezer because squeezer, the liquid slot in the squeezer is only for output. There is really no reason whatsoever to place liquid into the squeezer, so there shouldn't be any way to push it into it. So if I place it down, yeah, it doesn't get filled up with this molten ender, even though supposedly this is on export mode. Let's set up the actual extraction of honey. So this goes away, this turns into redstone torch, get some liquid ducts, and change them to, whoops. Okay, how can I go about doing that then? I want to block those. I don't think I can. Okay, let's just place it on the other side then. I might be able to with some really little bit of trickery. Obviously, the liquid dots will not combine if they have different liquids. So if one of the liquids will be different than the other one when I actually click it, then it will work. So when I change the mode from general to extraction, it will not combine. But too much of a hassle. Just place it here, get over with it. I'll take back my redstone torch though. Very expensive torches. Oh, I took it out. Okay, so place the torch here, break this block to make sure that the tesseract does not interact with the signal. Place the squeezer. And a liquid tesseract, liquid duct, sorry, 1, 2, and a liquid tesseract. This one will be on the honey frequency. It will be always on. And change the mode to extraction here. This is not extraction. Okay, now I've done it already in the previous place here with seed oil. The tesseract will not interact with the liquid ducts on purpose because this tesseract, both of those tesseracts are sending only, and this liquid duct is on extraction mode, so they cannot interact with each other, neither here or here. So there is no problem doing that. So finally, let's get an export bus, get some honeydew and some honey. That export bus goes here, and we'll always export honeydew and honey. I've placed the honeydew first because it's a first priority to make sure it always goes away first. Honey is a little bit more useful than honeydew. And since they both produce the same thing, as far as I'm concerned, from honey, I don't really mind. Honey pretty much can be used. Well, it mainly can be used in all the bee analyzation systems. You need them to analyze bees. The bee analyzer require honey, and they cannot use honeydew. So this is pretty much the only reason. One thing I need to take care of, unlike my seed oil production, is that there is a potential crafting of propolis. And here I simply handled it using an import bus. I'm going to handle it pretty much exactly the same. Let's get an import bus. Whoops, not from here. From here. Actually, let's just break this existing one. This is the honey production, yep. So break this import bus. I may need to reconnect a couple of things. And place it right here, and I'm just going to need some cable. So honeydew cannot produce any propolis, but honey can. So whenever that is the case, it will be always active, and it will move one item at a time. And that's pretty much taken care of. I've got honey production in addition to everything. So now let's just rearrange the way this works. So this squeezer is no longer necessary, no longer crafting honey here. So that also counts for all of those honey recipes. They no longer make any difference. So is this. And the way this changes right now, it's actually going to require a little bit of trickery. Mainly because I don't want to place, even though this tank is already filled up with seed oil, I don't want to place the tank here and kind of make it grow crazy. I actually should have changed this tank as well. Okay, so let's make a couple of changes. You know what, let's make a couple of drastic changes. Okay. I'm gonna break everything down, and then I'm gonna need to replace impregnated casing production, scented paneling production, and this impregnated sticks production. So a lot of different things need to be changed, but I'm gonna break everything because I'm gonna change a bunch of things. So let's go ahead and start breaking stuff. Probably should make a little bit of room before doing that. Let's also reset those 3 recipes, 3 patterns by simply shift right clicking them, because I'm no longer going to use those auto crafting honey patterns, since I'm simply crafting them, simply going to get liquid honey. Okay, so this goes away, so is everything else pretty much. Okay, so everything goes away. This as well. Now my inventory is filled up with junk. Or it isn't. Okay, so there are 2 seed oil recipes and 1 honey recipe. So let's place the seed oil here and the honey here. Actually, haven't set it up yet, so let's do it now. Okay, let's do it like this. Let's actually, you know what, let's set up the input first. Or the storage of the ender tag first, to be more precise. So I have something to work with. Now the reason I rearranged everything is because I have simply just because I'm using liquid instead of cans now. I can just do it and make it everything a little bit more convenient. Okay, let's just set it up quickly. So this goes away, this goes away. This is being changed into I need some redstone torches. Redstone torches and some liquid ducts. Okay, so this goes here, here, and this is an extraction, and this now fills up. So now I have a source of honey. And honey is actually produced a lot faster than seed oil, because seed oil is produced 0.02 at a time. This is produced 0.1 at a time, so 5 times more pretty much. Well, not pretty much, exactly 5 times more per process. So it's actually a little bit faster. Okay, so this is the output of honey. This is the output of seed oil. So let's have 3 carpenters. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Obviously, those 2 will be feeding up from the seed oil. This one will be fed up with honey. So the things I'm crafting are impregnated casing, scented paneling, and impregnated sticks. Now the thing that requires honey is the scented paneling, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Let's just quickly double check. Scented paneling requires honey. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna deal with the scented paneling last. I still have to use the interfaces to actually craft it. There is no way around it. And so far I've been pushing all the items from the sides. I'm gonna remain with that tactic. So let's get rid of this. Let's push from the other side. Arbitrarily going for the other side for no reason whatsoever. So this, this, and this. Interfaces will go here, here, and here. And all of the different import buses will be here, here, and here. All of them will be always on. All of them will be moving 1 item at a time. And let's just connect everything to a cable. So this and this. This also needs to be connected, and so is this. And let's just set up the recipes. Now, carpenters actually also need the blank patterns on them. So I'm going to actually need some wood with me. Let's set up first the impregnated casing. So place some birch wood here. And set up the recipe, the custom processing recipe here, which again, it doesn't require any seed oil cans. Actually, so far I've been placing them separately. I actually just used export buses to push the seed oil cans directly into the carpenters, so it wasn't a part of the original pattern anyway, but I don't need to modify it anyway. The second recipe are the impregnated sticks, which actually I think just need 2 sticks and some seed oil. So just 2 sticks. No, wait. You actually need this thing. So 2 of those gives me the impregnated stick, and let's place the actual recipe in the respective place. And finally, this recipe, the scented paneling recipe, which is a little bit complicated. To craft it, I'm gonna need pollen, beeswax, wood, and royal jelly. So pollen, beeswax, and royal jelly. And finally also some normal wood. So the pattern goes like this, those 3 here, this here, this here, and 1 and 2. So this is the recipe to create scented paneling, and I should be able to craft everything. Let's actually take a look. Let's try craft 1 scented paneling. So let's take those 60 out of here and craft 1. It should push everything inside, go through the process of crafting 1. Takes a little bit of time, unfortunately, but what can you do? And eventually, when it's done, the import bus takes it out. And just the same way this works, those other 2 should work just as fine, so there is no problem there. So this project is pretty much done. Now I have all those extra seed oil cans. I'm gonna do, I've got the seed oil and got the honey cans. I'm gonna do what I actually did previous time with the other extra stack of seed oil, and simply dump it into the Zycraft tanks. In case you've missed the previous episode, Zycraft tanks actually are very nice dealing with liquid containers, that they're actually very intelligent about what they do with them. So there is only 1 slot to do stuff with it. So whether it's a container with liquid, it will simply empty it out. And if it's an empty container, it will fill it up and place it in the other inventories. It's kind of a very smart system. Let's also dump all the honey can in here to have all the access in the tanks. I don't want any of those liquid cans, just in my system rolling about. And that's it. Got myself honey, in addition to seed oil, also a part of my liquid warehouse. I really like the way it looks, all those different colors. Of course, some of them are the full, some of them aren't, but I really like the way it kind of has all those different colors available and all those tanks filled up with different. This is actually quite awesome. Really glad I took on this project. Okay, so let's quickly empty my inventory a little bit and figure out the next project, which I think there are now 2 choices for me. There actually, well, there is many more liquids that I haven't even touched yet. Obviously, there are a ton more. Most of them are bee products from extra bees, and the thing about them is, let's say for example, if I come here to the liquid transposer and check out all the different liquids, you can see there are things like acid, poison, liquid nitrogen. There are more of those, I think, or only those 3, which are kind of bee products, but from extra bees, but they really have no use. Now I could try and get them as a part of the challenge, and actually might, because as I've said, since I really want to have a full tank of honey, it will actually require quite a bit of honey drops, so the process of getting all those new bees will actually supply me with more honey drops kind of by default. So it's kind of going to be a good idea, but at first I want to complete kind of I'm air quoting here, the more useful liquids first. So I have pretty much 3 different options. The third one is kind of, you kind of need to put a giant question mark on it, which is actually milk. You can actually also have liquid milk if you really want to. This is the question mark. The thing I'm gonna have to decide is either apple juice or creosote oil. Apple juice I'm actually not using for anything. Creosote oil I actually am using. I'm actually using quite a lot, and I'm using even quite a lot lately, even more than I've used before, to the point where I actually should even slightly increase the production of creosote oil. Because as you can see, I have this I'm not gonna go through all this entire truck crafting factory that I've made quite some time ago. But as you can see, I used to have all this backlog of wooden rail beds. Now, previously it started building up, so I used to have the full stack here, a second full stack here, and then a third stack started building up of wooden rail beds, which is the product of using creosote oil with something else. And the first stack started dropping because I started using a lot more tracks because I started mining in the nether. So actually I think I'm gonna go for creosote oil first, mainly because it's just something I actually need to actually increase the production of, so it probably is a good idea to do it. So at the moment I'm using 2 of those coke ovens. I'm gonna start using more, to put it simply. They're not enough. That's the easy way to put it. I'm just gonna create some more. Now, I actually forgot how to make them. Coke oven block requires bricks, and they require sand. Now, there is also this sandy brick. Well, that's pretty much exactly the same. Exactly the same. Just gives you this kind of fancy sandy brick to work with. I think I don't have enough bricks to actually create more creosote, more coke ovens. I think I'm gonna go for 2 more to have a total of 4 of them. Either way, I'm gonna need more bricks. I'm pretty sure I don't have enough. For every coke oven, you're gonna need 26 blocks. As you can see, 3 times 3 times 3 hollow, so that's mean 26 blocks. And each one of those blocks requires 4 bricks. A lot of bricks. I don't have enough. I think I'm gonna go for a little bit of clay hunting. Unfortunately, I don't have any clay production whatsoever. A little bit of clay, but it's not even close to enough. Because my red power quarry doesn't mine and age with water, and when you don't mine water, you don't get clay. Clay is a byproduct of, it's kind of a random generation when you have sand or dirt kind of interacting with water. So when you don't mine water, you cannot have clay. So enough rambling, gonna quickly go ahead and find a little bit of clay. Okay, so I'm mining clay nearby my house. Now, unfortunately, my crazy efficiency shovel actually has silk touch, and that actually breaks full blocks. Now, this is actually a loss because, well, it's not exactly a loss if I don't deal with it correctly. Because a clay block drops, I think always, I'm pretty sure it will always drop 4 of those clays. Now I can use my medium stone if I really want to actually change that. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I actually had a small idea to kind of overcomplicate this a little bit, but actually I just noticed I can just use my medium stone to do that, so there is really no need. Just where is it? I have this little bit of clay lying around all over the place. I think I've killed my medium stone. No clue where it is. Let's just make a new one. Good thing I have a ton of those medium shards. I forgot how to make it. Oh, come on, this is bad. How do you make the medium stone? Need an inert stone, that gold, iron, and stone. Okay, so I'm gonna make this a little bit quickly and also cook all the bricks, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got a ton of bricks from all of that crafting, but that should last me also quite a while. Let's go ahead and craft it. So I'm gonna need 52 of those coke oven blocks. So let's just craft it like this. So 52 of them will be an additional 2 to my existing 2, so I have a total of 4. Let's store the rest of those things and start breaking things, because this will now be changed. So no longer it will look like this, or at least not exactly like this. I'm gonna change it. I'm probably, you know what, I think I'm gonna keep the actual creosote oil production here, but it's gonna be looking a little bit more organized. So first, let's break away those liquid ducts. They can go away. Now this supplied with energy, I'm going to simply have another creosote oil, not creosote oil, another tesseract running here for the liquid, or actually not tesseract, an ender tank, but it's going to be changed a little bit. This now will also go away, so start breaking things. I can take some things out. Okay. Just gonna open up the area a little bit, move things around, make it look a little bit nicer and a little bit more uniform, because so far it was, I won't lie, it was looking like a mess with all of those different blocks all over the place. So the actual truck production I'm gonna keep here. I'm just gonna change the way I'm creating the creosote oil and moving it around, because I kind of like the way that it's over here and the way I'm using all the fabricators here and everything. In theory, I could probably change that. I could probably modify it to work nicer, because at the time of creating it, I kind of didn't use Applied Logistics. And then I started using Applied Logistics and kind of integrated it to be working together. But to be honest, I could probably overhaul the entire network. And you know what? While talking about it, I think I'm going to do it actually. But probably not in this episode. I'm probably going to let's first complete the actual creosote oil production. And then at some other point overhaul the entire production line of tracks to make it a little bit more Applied Logistics worthy. So let's have the blocks kind of 2 blocks away from here. So this will be the first one. So this is the base of the first one. That will be the base of the second one. I should probably go to sleep before a creeper comes. And yeah, let's go do that. Okay, so that will be the base of the second one, and over here will be the third and the fourth. I think they kind of have to be blocked different from each other, otherwise the multi-block structure kind of fails to update itself, because it recognizes too many blocks it shouldn't. So this is why I'm kind of separating them like this. Okay. What's going on? Something here fails to update. Okay, looks good enough. Got a lot of sand from this. So this, come on, what's going on here? Something didn't update correctly. Okay, so that will be, yeah. Nice, I just lost one of the blocks. I will need a new block. So that will be the third base and the fourth base. So let me go ahead and complete all those coke ovens and I'll be right back. Okay, so they're all completed. Now it actually should be relatively easy to start building upon. So far I've been cooking, I have been cooking coal and wood. Wood is kind of a lower priority. It's a little bit less efficient, but since I have this wood farm, there is really no reason not to do it. And you know what? Actually, since I've now have a use for coal in the diamond production line, let's actually let's have 3 coke ovens using wood and only 1 using coal. So I'm going to start using a lot more wood at the moment. Not a lot more, but more. So let's get some wood. Actually, I already have a little bit on me. I'm going to need 2 more export buses. The liquid ducts, I'm gonna need the liquid tesseracts to start setting it up, and a bunch of cables. And also import buses, because it also produces potentially coal coke. So I'm going to need some way to import that. And actually you have to do it, because if the coal coke storage is full, if the slot is full, it will stop producing creosote oil, so that's kind of bad. Okay, so let's have all the export buses on top, all the import buses on the side. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's all very nicely kind of has this nice shape. Let's have this one using coal and the other 3 using wood. Okay, and the ME cable connected to everything together. The import buses will simply, by default, import what's available, which is only the coal coke. So only thing remaining to do is to connect it to the rest of the network. So let's do that. So 1, 2, 3. They all should start working. So this one is wood, this coal, wood, and yeah, and everything is set up. So that's lastly the exportation, basically exporting all the liquid to one place. So let's use 2 liquid ducts right here, set them both to extraction mode. and place 2 redstone torches. At the center, place another liquid duct, which is by default set to not extraction, and connect it to a tesseract. Now I cannot place a tesseract right here because it will try to extract from the tesseract, and that will not help me. So let's create a new network. So that will be frequency 10 is lava? No, 1 is lava, 10 is nothing. Frequency 10, which will be Creosote. No, I got this wrong. How do you pronounce it? Creosote oil. Okay. So frequency 10 is Creosote oil. And add that. It's always on. And let's just set up the actual storage. And also set up and fix basically the broken production line, because right now the production line has no income of creosote oil. So I'm gonna need a new ender tank network. Creosote oil is kind of this murky greenish color. Am I using green wool for anything? Yeah, I'm using it for biomass apparently. Let's recolor it. Let's use lime for biomass, and let's use green for the creosote oil. So I'm gonna need 6 lime dyes. Also gonna need some, as a result, some green and some bone meal to make a little bit more. So this gives me some more lime, and I can reinsert the bone meal. And I'm actually going to need to empty the network. You know what? I don't need any one of those those dyes. What am I doing? Just gonna need to create a lime ender tank network. So change that to lime and create. Whoa! Create apparently 24. I don't need any of those really, and I don't mind crafting anymore when I do need them. Get ender tanks. Let's change this to be using this. And change this to be using this. And I just need now to actually empty these tanks, and I'm gonna use, what am I going to use? Is there a quick way to empty those tanks? I can use a bunch of buckets. Let's just get a bunch of buckets. Actually, no, let's get cans. It's faster. Get a bunch of cans and simply do this. So this is pretty much a quick way to empty the network. It still has a tiny bit left, or does it? No, it doesn't have anything left, I think. So now I can use this network as my creosote oil. So let's actually first set it up here. So this will be outputting creosote oil when it's connected. And finally, let's actually set up the output of creosote oil. So where did I place it? Oh, I didn't place it anywhere yet. So let's place it here. So this will be the liquid. It will actually first need to be a valve. So get one valve. Oops. So this will be a new tank that will be connected to the creosote oil network. It will be receiving only. It should start filling up. Yep. And let's set up the actual thing. So I'm gonna need a redstone torch and some liquid ducts. Redstone torch, liquid ducts. So this, change the mode and change the tank. And you can see it fills up nicely with creosote oil. It's also already getting empty because it's all being outputted into the crafting station right there, where I'm creating the tracks. And finally, if you're asking yourself what am I going to do with all this biomass, well, I'm simply going to place it in this storage here. Whenever it's going to need a little bit more biomass, it's simply going to dump it from here. And that's pretty much it. That's a quick way to get rid of it. And there we go. I got creosote all increased production and of course storage and again usage. And probably in the next episode I might overhaul the entire system of creating tracks to kind of fit the rest of my plant and logistics network. And by the way, just kind of I like as a fun fact, how much energy am I consuming at the moment? 290. That's almost that's a lot of energy. That's 145 EU per tick, or more than 7 geothermals running constantly. So there are more than 7, basically there are 6 in this spiky kind of effect because of the way it works, working of them all the time to keep this running. 432 cables, kind of a fun fact. Alright, so as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.